Hey students, in this video we're going to find slope following the slope formula given and also just using data given to us, either 2 points or a table or a graph. But specifically, this focus is on using the slope formula. So to use the slope formula, you need 2 points. And to distinguish the 2 points, you're going to identify one as x1, y1 for the first point, and then as x2, y2 for the second point. Using those values, you're going to replace them here in this formula. At the top of the fraction bar, we're going to have y2 minus y1. At the bottom, we're going to have x2 minus x1. So your job is to kind of make sure you write the numbers where they need to be correctly, and then type them in the calculator correctly. So for example, here we're going to have the y value of the second point. So this is 0.1, this is 0.2. The y value of the second point is -8, and we're going to put minus y value of the first point, which is -6. So sometimes you will have that minus negative, and it's totally fine. You just got to write it to make sure you don't overlook it. X2, x value of the second point, 7 minus x value of the first point, 1. You could do this by hand by just simplifying -8, and then again minus negative becomes a plus. So -8 plus 6, and then 7 minus 1. If I do it by hand, I can get the answer, but I also want to show you how to type it. The calculator can just quickly tell you just by typing what you had correctly. So here is control divide to set up the division. Then you're going to do -8. And remember that was minus -6. And then 7 minus 1. Enter. And it gives you the answer immediately. You just got to make sure you type it correctly. Just to show you the hands version of writing this answer, it's just -8 plus 6. That's -2 over 7 minus 1, which is 6. So this needs to be simplified to -1/3. So that's how the answer is -1/3. All right, next problem. Let me do one more. We're going to do 0.1, 0.2. The setup is going to be y value of the second point, which is 7, minus y value of the first point, which is 7, over x value of the second point, 8, minus the x value of the first point, -10. So once again, if you type this in the calculator, you're going to type it exactly the way that you have it right there. 7 minus 7 and 8 minus -10. This results in the answer of 0. And the reason you get 0 is because 7 minus 7 is 0, and 8 minus -10, which is positive or plus, it's 18. And anytime you divide a 0 by a number, it's always going to be 0. Okay, so here, I'll leave number 9 blank so you can try it on your own. If you want to check if you got it right or wrong, just ask me in class. Next one is a table. So when you have a table, it goes back to you seeing, oh my God, there's so many points, but remembering you only need 2 points. And it doesn't matter which 2 points you get as long as you write them correctly in the formula. So still following the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you look at the y values and see which one you want to start with. You could start also with this one is x2 and y2 and this is x1. It just honestly doesn't matter the one you pick first as long as you go in the same order. So I'm just going to try the other order just to show you that it's correct. -10 minus -8 over 0 minus 1. If we type this, we're going to get -10 minus -8, 0 minus 1. So we're going to get 2. But I just want to show you that if you do the opposite, so if you do the y2 of -8 minus y1 of negative 10 over x2 of 1 minus 0, we get the same answer. So just, again, pick an order and write the x's and y's in the same order. So this is 2. All right, one more here. We have, oh yes, the student brought this up. Besides the formula, we could also use the template of change of y over change of x. This is you looking at 2 points and writing down what the change of the y over the change of the x is. So I'm just going to use these 2 points as an example, and I'm going to say 5 and 7 have a difference of 2. You added 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then the 2 becomes a 2 by adding nothing, so it's 0. This is a division. So you're going to divide the top number by the bottom. And then you're going to do 2 divided by 0 in the calculator, and it gives you undefined. So this is one of those special lines that have a slope of undefined. And if you make the connection, it's because the x's are all the same. So if we graph something with x's that are always 2, it's going to create that vertical line. Same thing with the one up here. The slope was 0, so notice that the y values are the same. If we graph these, the y values will always be the same. So it'll create that horizontal line. All right, I'm gonna let number 12 for you, or leave number 12 for you. And I just want to show you how to apply this in a STAR question. When you have this topic in a STAR question, sometimes they might ask you for the rate of change. You need to translate that to the word slope. They're asking you for the slope. Here's a graph, so we would need 2 points. You could either write them as separate or write them in a mini table. The 2 points that in class we identified were the x and y axis, or intercepts like that. So 0, 60, and 10, 0. Okay? These 2 points, whether you use the formula or the change of y over change of x, they will give you the same answer. So if we check, we do change of y, 60 becomes a 0 by subtracting 60. That's your change of y. And then the 0 becomes a 10 by adding 10. That's your change of x. Or if you want to do the formula, we're going to do y2, which is the second point, the y value of the second point, minus the y value of the first point, which is 60, over the x value of the first point, which is 10, minus the x value of the first point. Second point, first point. So this is negative 60, 0 minus 6 is negative 60 over positive 10. So notice we got the same answer. So when you simplify this, you get negative 6 as an answer. And if you look at the answer choices, negative 6 is there. But also remember to reason through your answers. And just by looking at this graph, we should have eliminated the positives because these are lines that go up and these are lines that go down. So just reason through your answers as well. I hope this video helps you.